Okay. Go ahead and share the screen again. All right, so once again, we're all virtual learning or virtually learning for this full week and then part of next week. So if you aren't aware, those of you who are normally in-person learners, you will not return to the physical classroom until a week from Thursday. So you'll come in a week from this coming Thursday. Um, so you'll come back, and then we'll have Friday as a distance learning day. Then you come back the Monday, and then Tuesday's a distance learning day, and then um, Thanksgiving break starts. So um, with the virtual learning, just want to go over some of the expectations for both this course and courses that the rest of your courses that you're taking. I want you to really consider and think that this is not a vacation or a break at all. We are not reducing the amount of school days or work days. So you shouldn't be thinking of this as an opportunity to sleep in or go and watch Netflix or play video games during class, um, because that's going to ultimately hurt you in the long run. Um, we're being told here as teachers that we should not treat this any different as if you're still here in the class. So just keep that in mind. You're still responsible to complete all of your work and all of your classes. Um, what I want, let's see, I get that, I think, to the next slide, but obviously those of you who are in the Zoom right now have the technology to be able to do so. The school will be reaching out to those who don't have technology or maybe don't have strong internet at home. But if you feel that your internet's not strong enough or you won't be able to do virtual learning, you need to reach out to either me or the main office so that you can be a little more proactive than reactive. Because I'm not going to have that much sympathy if you come to me 2 weeks from now and you're like, oh, I didn't know we had these assignments to do. My computer wasn't working. I'm just gonna be like, well, you should have been you should have been a little more proactive and try to call the school or something like that um, ahead of time. So just keep that in mind. Um, really, it's difficult while you guys are at home because, like, for me, I'm here in the classroom. All your teachers will be here in their classrooms, and so we actually have to drive and be here. We have to wake up as normal. But for you guys, it's a little easy to slip into this mindset or um, what's the word? Um, this pattern of sleeping in and not thinking you have to follow your class schedule. But ultimately, you should be waking up like you normally would in the morning. Maybe you can sleep just a little bit longer since you don't have to actually go and drive and get to the school or don't have to take a bus. But you should plan on getting to your first hour class at 7:30. You should be up and ready to participate in that class by 7:30, and then just follow the class schedule. So I know some teachers will do where they'll do a Zoom for 40, 50 minutes, and then they'll leave the rest of the time for you to work on an assignment. Use that time that they give you to do your assignment or the activity that they're asking you to do. Don't just say, oh, Zoom's over, I can go watch Netflix. Um, because more likely than not, your teacher's going to make you have that assignment turned in by the end of class. And then when it comes to, like, say, lunch schedule, if you have first lunch, follow that. You can take your break during that time. If you have second lunch, same. And then just plan on being done with school by 2:10. So um, just really try to mimic and follow the class schedule as much as possible, as close as possible. It takes a lot of self discipline to do that. Um, so being proactive and not reactive. Once again, if you're having tech issues, um, internet problems, whatever it may be, reach out to us first. Reach out to us before continuing on with this virtual learning. Um, I'm not going to have a whole lot of sympathy when you come back in 2 weeks and you say that you couldn't complete um, any of the assignments because your computer wasn't working or something like that. As soon as that problem arises, if it does, reach out sooner rather than later. Okay, so you guys are probably wondering how it's going to work out in this class in terms of how the grading and assignments and stuff are going to go the next 2 weeks. So this is going to be um, an accountability, whatever it may be, the way that I track your progress for all students. So I think there's um, a couple distance learners in this um, Zoom right now who usually aren't in the classroom. This will apply to you as well. So each week I'm have an assignment on Canvas. It's just a text box entry, and you're going to just list out all the assignments and homework that you worked on during freshman success during this time. Um, I'm not going to be on Zoom the whole time. I'm budgeting now about 20 minutes at the beginning of class. You guys all just come in, check in. I'll check you off. I'll give you any updates that I have when it comes to the school or whatever it may be. And then you guys will be able to leave the Zoom and go and work on other assignments. But for me to be able to track that you're actually using this time effectively, you need to list out all the assignments, assessments, whatever it is that you've worked on during the week. So on Thursday, you'll just type out everything you've worked on, and then I will randomly select people and reach out to their teachers and say, oh, well, did this student complete this assignment as they told me that they did? And if you did it and it got turned in, boom, you get it for the week. But if you lie to me or don't put anything, you're not going to get a 4. Going to get less than a 2. If you don't turn in anything or don't tell me what you've done at all this week, it'll be a 0 in the grade book. But we'll do that for this week and next week, and then probably after Thanksgiving is when we'll really get back into normal class routine. So I'm not going to be doing any type of, normal presentations like about anger management, anything like that, just with the virtual learning environment. But once again, just expectation that you join in the Zoom for within the first 20 minutes of class, so I can just check you off and address any questions that you may have. So let's see. Yeah, and when it comes to this, these assignments, it could be for many classes. It isn't just freshman success assignments. I'm really encouraging you to work on assignments, most preferably in those classes you aren't doing so well right now, getting caught up, and then working on, classes as, the classes that you're doing better and better in, working on those kind of last. All right, so with that, obviously, for me, my personal teaching preference, I don't require you to have a camera on. And there shouldn't be any requirement from any teachers to have your camera on. But if you do turn on your camera, there's some etiquette that goes along with that. But just in general, with you guys being at home, sometimes you have siblings, distractions that potentially will not be conducive to a good learning environment. And so one thing with Zoom etiquette, you really want to be able to identify a workspace. So finding a really quiet place in the home, or as quiet as possible, so that you can organize all of your stuff and be able to work efficiently without that many distractions. So good thing is maybe be in a room that doesn't have a TV, so that way you're not distracted or wanting to go turn on the TV or watch something in the background. Make sure to have your device ready, keep it charged or plugged in. And then if you do share your video during class, make sure that you can see your face, not just the surroundings. And then always just keep your device close so that you can hear and see people effectively. Try to join class on time. So just think of it as if you were walking to class. If you come into the Zoom 5 minutes late, it's no different than if you walked in 5 minutes late. You're going to miss some important information, and we're not going to wait just for you to join. And then just really follow your teacher's instructions for discussions or anything like that. You might have teachers who will put you into breakout rooms on Zoom where you have to work in groups and talk over Zoom. So make sure to participate, be active in that. It's no fun if you're in a Zoom breakout room and you're the only one talking, nobody else is engaging. And then for me, you don't necessarily have to raise your hand. I don't mind if you blurt or come right into while I'm talking and try to ask a question, because I know there's usually not a good time for you to just naturally come in. Um, but just generally, um, for other teachers, they may ask you that you know raise your hand first in Zoom, or um, if your computer is not, or if your video is off, to maybe send something in the chat before you actually interrupt. But for me, if you want to interrupt at any time, you're more than welcome to. Um, Another big thing with Zoom etiquette, make sure to mute yourself at all times unless you're actively speaking, because as much as we'd love to hear your dog or cat or TV in the background, it's just not the best during Zoom class, especially if somebody else is talking or the teacher's talking. Um, Obviously, this Zoom etiquette, I just pulled this off of Google Images, so don't worry about having to turn on your video. Always come prepared, sit still, be respectful. All the expectations in the classroom still apply, even if you're in a Zoom classroom. Um, and then also, as much as you may be enjoying that big greasy burger that you cooked up for lunch, don't eat it in front of everybody. Try to avoid eating in front of people if your camera's on. Obviously, if it's camera's turned off and you're muted, whatever you're doing or eating can't see that. But obviously, if your video is on, don't eat while your video is on. Okay, next week, I am going to try to, I was hoping to do this in class, but we'll use this Zoom time where I'm going to try to meet with each one of you individually just for, maximum of 5 minutes during class. And I'll put up a schedule with each of you for a time slot during our class. But I'm just going to meet with you one-on-one privately, and we're just going to look at your progress so far. How are you doing your classes? Are there any classes where maybe you have an F or a D right now? What can we do to improve that score in that class? And then just making sure you know what assignments that you need to be working on and completing. And then if you have any questions or concerns so far for the quarter, because we're getting close to the middle of the quarter. So just keep that in mind. This quarter is going quite fast, and it will go pretty fast because we have two big breaks, Thanksgiving and winter break in between. So let's see. All right, so let me go ahead and stop sharing the screen. Okay, did any of you guys have any questions when it came to virtual learning, etiquette, anything like that? You're more than welcome to chime in, or if you want to put a question in the chat, I'll also respond to that. So I'll give you guys just like a minute if you have any questions to come up with those. And I'll keep an eye on the chat as well. And then all right. Not seeing anything in the chat yet. Nobody's interrupted. So what I'm going to go ahead and do, it's been about 20 minutes, so you guys will be free to leave the Zoom, work on assignments, use the rest of this class time. Our class gets out at 10:29 as normal. So just use the rest of this chunk of time, rest of this hour for working on assignments, being productive, and then just come prepared on Wednesday. Just join this Zoom again at 9 o'clock. I'll check you off and give you any updates that I have about virtual learning, and then answer any questions that you may have, and then we'll do the same thing. But if nobody else has any questions, you're free to leave at this point from the Zoom. If you need to stick around and ask me something one-on-one, you're more than welcome to do so. So best of luck with your classes today in Zoom, and I will see you guys on, some of you later today, and then most of you on Wednesday.